Uh, Friends, we thought that this topic, this evergreen topic, this known and unknown topic, the personal and impersonal topic, the topic that interests all of us. We all need, we all look for love all through our life. This unconditional word, unconditional love, has been used frequently in spiritual realm and beyond comprehension for most of us, even including me. Because as I told you, that this is personal and impersonal. So, uh, to start with, I'll start, of course, with what JK said about this. Although I don't like quoting again and again JK, but uh, today I have a power problem also. So I'll just say JK's most important message is if you have no love, do what you will, go after all the gods on earth, do all the social activities, try to reform the poor, enter politics, write books, write poems. You are a dead human being. Without love, your problems will increase, multiply endlessly. And with love, do what you will. There is no risk, there is no conflict. Then love is the essence of virtue. This is what he said long back in 1965 in Bombay. Then I have selected some few passages from his book on love and loneliness. Then what is love? Obviously, it can only happen. It can only happen when there are no longer all the things that are not love, like ambition, competition, wanting to become somebody. That is our life. We want to be somebody famous, to fulfill, know, become a writer, an artist, something bigger. All that is what we want. Can such a man or woman know what love is? That means, can there be love for a man who is working for himself, not only in a little way, but in identifying himself with the state, with God, with social activity, with the country, with a series of beliefs? Obviously not. And yet that is the trap in which we are caught. Can we be aware of that trap? Really aware, not because somebody describes it, be aware of the trap in which we are caught and break the trap. That's where the real revolution is, not the folly of revolutions, of bombs and social changes. Though the social changes are necessary, the bombs are not. So, can the man who loves send his son to war? It is your problem. You have children, and your education is preparing the children for war to kill. Find out. So, what is that love? And what is its relationship to our human existence? I think that question can only be answered truly, not verbally or intellectually, when the whole principle of pleasure and thought and this becoming is understood. Then you will find a totally different kind of relationship. Another important passage I found was to deny, to negate everything that is not love is love. So we completely negate jealousy, totally negate attachment, negate every form of possessiveness. Out of that total negation comes love. Through negation, you come to the positive, and the most positive thing is love. And the most positive thing is love. One of the odd things about love is that whatever you do will be correct if you love. When there is love, action is always right in all circumstances. This is such a bold sentence. And when there is that quality of love, there is compassion. Compassion means passion for all. Compassion cannot exist, nor love, if you belong to any sect, any group, to any organized religion. Compassion comes only when there is freedom from all that. And that compassion has its own extraordinary, limitless intelligence. When there is love, there is beauty. Love and compassion with their intelligence is the endless truth. See the word he has used, endless truth. To that truth, there is no path, not karma yoga, bhakti yoga, so on. There is no path to truth. Only when there is that immense sense of compassion that comes when there is the ending of sorrow, then that which is the truth. Another small passage is, for most of us, love is an extraordinary difficult thing to understand because our lives are very shallow. We want to be loved, and also we want to love. And behind that word, there is a lurking fear. So, is it not very important for each one of us to find out what this extraordinary thing really is? And we can find out only if we are aware of how we regard other human beings, how we look at the trees, at the animals, at a stranger, at the man who is hungry. We must be aware of how we regard our friends, of how we regard our guru, if we have one, of how we regard our parents. Another important one for us is, you will find out what love is and what sorrow is only when your mind has rejected all explanations and is no longer imagining, no longer seeking the cause, no longer indulging in words or going back in memory to its own pleasures and pains. Your mind must be completely quiet, without a word, without a symbol, without an idea, and then you will discover, or there will come into being that state in which we have what we have called love, and what we have called sorrow, and what we have called death are the same. There is no longer any division between love and sorrow and death. And there being no division, there is beauty. But to comprehend, to be in this state of ecstasy, there must be that passion which comes with the total abandonment of oneself. You see, ultimately, this is the central point which J.K. emphasized all through in various ways in all his lectures, that abnegation of self is the only thing which can take you to the path of love. Now, love is something that cannot be cultivated. You cannot say, I will learn, I will practice love. Most idealists, most people who are escaping from themselves through various forms of intellectual, emotional activities have no love. They may be marvelous social reformers, excellent politicians, if there is such a thing as an excellent politician, but they have no love at all. Love is something entirely different from pleasure, but you cannot come upon love without understanding it with the depth of passion, not denying it, not running away from it, but understanding it. There is a great delight in the beauty of pleasure. So, love is not to be cultivated. Love cannot be divided into divine and physical. It is only love. And it is not that you love the many or the one. That again is an absurd question to ask. Do you love all? You know, a flower that has perfume is not concerned who comes to smell it or who turns his back upon it. So it is with love. Love is not a memory. Love is not a thing of the mind or the intellect, but it comes into being naturally as compassion. When this whole problem of existence as fear, greed, envy, despair, hope has been understood and resolved, an ambitious man cannot love. A man who is attached to his family has no love, nor has jealousy anything to do with love. When you say, I love my wife, you really do not mean it, because the next moment you are jealous of her. Love implies great freedom, but not to do what you like. Love comes only when the mind is very quiet, disinterested, not self centered. These are not ideas. If you have no love, do what you will. Go after all the gods on earth. Do all the social activities. Try to reform the poor. Enter politics. Write books. Write poems. You are a dead human being. So I think that that should be enough for today. And I would request all the participants, all the friends, to come out. What do they think about this important word, love? What does it mean to individuals? Because it is subjective as well as holistic. Because our the uh, ground state is love, and duality comes out of the non-dual. You see that ground state. So in a way, this conditioning is a part of that non-dual state, because Vedanta is not different. In India, people will say, Brahmasmi, I am Brahma, I am this and that, and all that. That is non-dual, impersonal self, which some people say greater self. Well, that's a different thing. We different use different words may be used, but the fact is, as long as my little self, my present self, my likes and disliked self is working, I'm definitely very, very, very narrow in my approach. So there is hardly any chance of thinking or comprehending what unconditional love could be. And that is the only love when, as just I read JK's, that compassion for all, compassion for all, abnegation of little self. So this is what now, friends. I have taken enough time. I would love to listen to all of you in different ways, whatever you feel love is and how important it is in your life. Thank you very much, friends. Enough light is there still in balcony. I am able to read it. Thank you.
Thank you, Verma ji. Harshad sir.
Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I am standing outside here and I don't have a mobile stand to keep my mobile. And so I will try to say a little bit about this topic of unconditional love. And this is the topic which has interested me most in my life. And whenever I had to give a talk in the Rishi Valley School Assembly or any other school assembly, I always started my talk by saying that my favorite topics are love, beauty, and life. And what I have learned from Krishnamurti a great deal, especially one of his sentence kept me looking at myself for many, many years. And that sentence was, love in relationship is a purifying process as it reveals the ways of the self. That means that when we are in a relationship, what we call love, it may not be love. There may be attachment, jealousy, fear, anger, because when we are attached, then we depend on the person whom we are attached to. And then when that person doesn't do what we like to do, we like him or her to do, then there will be anger. And then when that person looks at somebody else, then there will be a jealousy. So love is not attachment, not it there is no anger, jealousy, loneliness, boredom. When there is a fullness in in your heart and you don't depend and you find the source within you, because it is not that somebody else love us that will make us happy, but when we have love without this attachment, then that becomes the source of happiness. So we have to find out that there is this state, what Krishnamurti calls love, which is not attachment. Most people uh, consider attachment as love, but love comes from wisdom and freedom. And in another definition of Krishna ji, it says that love is when the self is not. That means when you don't have this feeling of I or me and the other person whom you love, or you feel love, there is no duality. So actually, it is like a non dual state when the lover and the loved, there is no separation psychologically. So, uh, many other poets and writers have wrote beautifully about love, but the word love is not love. And there were two young men. They they had come to Krishna ji and they said to Krishna ji that we have discussed a lot about this problem of love and it has become very clear. So Krishna ji asked, has love become clear or what you think about it? So thinking about love is not love. So the way Krishna ji uses the word love, it means there is real freedom. And in that freedom, there is no duality. So it is a state of being in which all our problems are solved. And this is the real treasure. And this treasure exists in all human beings, but only when people begin to look at their daily life, activity, relationship, and begin to understand their own mind in a very, very clear way, that they are in touch with the thoughts and feelings. And to be in that state, it means that there is just pure observation of thoughts and feelings, and they are coming and going. So um, it is really a blessing for a human being to be in that state of love in which everything is so beautiful, fresh, new, and to live like that. So uh, one can go on talking about this topic. And as Krishna ji said, and also Galib said, इश्क पर जोर नहीं है वो आतिश गालिब कि लगाए न लगे और बुझाए न बुझे. So it cannot be cultivated. You can't create love, but love is a byproduct of understanding of the freedom which comes from this selfishness. So this is the real great blessings for any human beings who can come upon this state of unconditional love. And that love is a state. It is not for any particular person, but it can be shared with many, many people without expecting anything from other people. So, okay, I have said enough thing right now. Thank you. Kamlesh, you can ask some
Sushil,
other people.
Dinesh, please unmute Dinesh.
I am not able to unmute.
You are unmuted now. Now your voice is coming, Dinesh.
Just hold on here. There is some problem today in Zoom at my end. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes,
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
yes, sir, clear.
Actually, nothing to speak more because everything has been uh, covered by Pradeep ji and Harshad sir. So, anyway, I would also like to speak something, and there may be some repetition, but kindly bear with me. Before touching to the topic, let us see in brief what JK says about love. Then we will see what is unconditional love in my views. JK says, where there is suffering, there is no love. And without love and compassion, there is no intelligence. That is what he says. And when there is a change, a radical mutation in the conditionings, which means freedom from all conditionings, and that freedom is love. It is not self-interest. The freedom is compassion, in which there is a sympathy and all that. But compassion is not attached to any religion. There is no attachment in this. It is not because I love Jesus or Krishna or somebody that I am compassionate. Compassion is born out of total freedom. Next point is attention surely implies care. That is to look with care, and you can not care if there is no affection. If there is no love, you cannot possibly care. If you have affection, then you do not compare, you observe. Next, love has no dimension. This is important. Love has no dimension. Nature of love. What is the nature of love? Love is not desire, not pleasure, not sensory sexual. Love can only come into being when there is real freedom from the past as knowledge. Love, there is no duality in this. Love and hate, love and hurt, etc. In polarity is not love. Now, when observer is there, there is always a fragmented or with a division love is. However, in my views, with ego, me, center, observer is also love is. Only thing is it is fragmented or divided love. It is fragmented or divided love. Now, when we talk of unconditional love, topic is unconditional love. It is not of duality. It is all pervasive, which penetrates all dimensions. Because of ego and all other vices, we cannot go for experiencing it. As per tradition, the ultimate eternal is having uh, one of the characteristic as asti bhati priyata, means it exists, it can have cognizance of self, and it is having love as essence. Now, when one is having yogi or yog with that, then the one can have experiencing of it. As others said, I don't exactly remember, but probably Harshad sir has said, there is no two persons available in this. When we talk of unconditional love, there are no two persons. It is the basic essence, which is of that element which we call ultimate, or we call immeasurable, or whatever you say. So probably in my views, that love is difficult when I is present. So I will always be having a fragmented love available to him, which you may call it affection, or you may call it compassion, or whatever it is. But when two persons are there, then it is a fragmented or divided love. So this thing has to be keep in mind. Thank you.
Dakshina Murthy, sir. Please unmute. Yes, sir.
Good evening to all. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. This is an important topic of which we don't know much. Nobody understands what actual love is. Krishnaji in 1929, when he dissolved the Order of the Star in the East, the organization headed by him, he made a statement and he said his only concern is to make man absolutely and unconditionally free. So he has given so much importance to freedom. Freedom from what? He wants to see that man is unconditionally free from the known. That means from knowledge. So today we are talking of unconditional love. So unless you have unconditional freedom, you can't have unconditional love. It's as simple as that. But we are so much caught up with knowledge and what we do in the field of knowledge, and we do not know how to get out of the field of knowledge. For that, we have to understand our consciousness. What is our consciousness? Krishnaji says, consciousness is its content. Consciousness is the content, and who put the content there? It is nothing but the thought process that has put the content in the consciousness, and that is nothing but our various psychological disorders in the consciousness, like our envy, our jealousy, our fear, our our hatred, all those things are there in the consciousness. These things are put there by thought. Unless we empty the consciousness of its content, there cannot be any freedom. So this becomes very important. How to empty the content of consciousness. We have to understand this content and stay with it without interfering with it in a state of attention. Then only there is emptying of the content. And also, Krishnaji very clearly said talked about order. He talked about order in consciousness, and he said order in consciousness is absence of disorder. That means what? All the disorders that we have in our consciousness, if you are able to eliminate them and make the consciousness empty, then only there is order. And that order is nothing but virtue. So the stepping stone for us is to understand the disorder in consciousness and empty that consciousness. And he also said, when the consciousness is emptied of its content, there is a different state of consciousness, but he has not defined what it is. But our Professor Krishna and other people say it is nothing but a state of pure awareness. So, unless we reach that state of pure awareness by emptying the content of our consciousness, then only it is possible for higher dimensions like compassion, love, intelligence to enter the field of consciousness. Then only we will be able to know what love is. And also he said a quality, a dimension called love, to understand that you have to approach negatively. Approaching negatively means whatever is not love, you should be able to eliminate that. You should be able to get rid of that. Like attachment is not love. So can you be without attachment? Like sex is not love. Like desire is not love. Like jealousy is not love. All these things he has mentioned number of times. So basically, compassion, intelligence, and love go together. And to reach that state, we should be able to get out of the field of knowledge. We are operating in the field of knowledge. And as long as you are in the field of knowledge, you will not be able to know what is beyond knowledge, what is beyond the field. That's why the whole problem is coming for all humanity. Only few people like Krishna ji, Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ were able to go beyond the field of knowledge, and they have given a direction to humanity. And it is our responsibility to understand our content and also work on that and see that we go out of the field of knowledge. For the time being, that's all I wanted to tell you. Thank you very much.
Prasad sir, please unmute.
Sir, this Pradeep ji has covered almost everything. There is nothing much left. And he has also said it in a very compassionate voice. His voice itself is indicative of his compassion. So, there is nothing left, but I want to say a little. There is a word called pleonasm, Pleonasm. And there is another word called tautology. These words are using extra words to express the same idea. like that, like black darkness. What is black darkness? Darkness itself is black. Similarly, frozen ice. Ice itself is frozen. So frozen ice doesn't mean anything else. I have brought in these words to express the idea. What is unconditional love? Love itself is unconditional. There is nothing more to say about unconditional love. Love is unconditional. If there is any condition, it is not love. It becomes trade. It becomes a bargain. You give me ₹1,00,000, I love you. That is trade. So, love basically is unconditional. End of the matter. And it has no limits. I think Pradeep ji has said it is not of one or of the many. So, if it is not restricted to one. Krishna ji says attachment to family itself is not love. We all think that we love our families. But he says attachment to family itself is not love. And there cannot be love if you don't love your environment. The basis of love is you love your environment, your flowers, your trees, the fish in the water. All these things you love. So, basically, you love everything in the universe. And Mr. Dakshina Murthy has said, you have to be free of your knowledge. Yes. You have to be, because we are caught in knowledge. We are caught in technology. Technology is required, but that doesn't mean that is enough. Technology has a place. Thought has a place. And then Harshad ji has said, when the self is not there, love is there. Yes, we have to understand the definition of self. What is self? If you are caught in tradition, there is no love. The problem with our country is we are lost in books, scriptures, quotations, authorities, gurus, priests. When you are caught in this, your mind is not free. So, your consciousness has to be free of all these things, what you are gathering, what you have gathered. A Christian gathers some luggage. Hindu gathers some other luggage. And then we are caught in slogans. My soul. Who has understood what is soul? Who knows whether there is a soul or not? Soul with a big S. We all understand our small s, soul or self. So we have to be free of these things, and we are reluctant. We think we have acquired all these things with great effort. We have done. And we are caught in processes. Meditation is a process for us. It's a system. And then we have no observation. Krishna ji says, have you observed the beggar in the street? We have no eyes, to look at the beggar. He says he has no soap and water to have a bath. We don't bother about that. We don't bother about the cleanliness of our streets. So we think love and God and things like that are something remote, great, and they give gradations to us. He is a spiritual master. We call somebody a master and somebody else a disciple. And the disciple aspires to become the master. Like that. We are caught in becoming. And I think Mr. Dakshina Murthy has said it. When you are ambitious, when you are caught in the process of becoming, you have no love. Where is love when you are caught in becoming or accumulating? And Krishnaji has always said, money is required, but that doesn't mean you keep on accumulating. So we have to understand these limits and these nationalisms. Worshipping the national flag. When you are worshipping the national flag and you have nationalism in your heart, where is love? Because nationalism is basically a limitation. You are limited to your country. And you are correspondingly hating the other country. So when you have all these things, there is no love. And so many others have also said, when you are caught in these things, you have to be basically free of the self. When the self is not, the other is. Love is. And another thing he has said is dying. Life and dying. Love, dying, and life. They go together. We keep death at a big distance. We don't want to talk of death. We don't want to think of death. But he says, can you die every day? To whatever you have accumulated, to your family, to your property, to your possessions, to your religion, to your scholarship, all these things, you have to die to everything. Then only there is a freedom. Freedom, intelligence, and beauty. All these things. I think somebody has referred to these things. I think Harshadji has referred. Beauty, intelligence. When there is beauty, there is love. When there is love, there is sense of beauty also. You see a flower. You see the cloud. You see everything. You see a man's face or a woman's face. All these things. We are kept away from these things. We have no sense of beauty in our life. And the beauty is, that is order, art, beauty, all these things go together. Thank you, sir.
Sushil ji, do you want to? Your mic is muted. Please unmute.
Somebody is sitting with me, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to say? And in the beginnings of learning, 1 minute.
In beginnings of learning, JK has said that care and affection is very much important when love is there. If there is affection for all, then you are in the state of love. Harshad sir, if you want
Yeah.
to continue your...
Yeah. Yes, I will say something that this is not a topic for understanding, but feeling, because we can say a lot verbally, but love is not verbal. And we are used to defining everything, but it can't be defined. Uh, so only when a person is really free from all the problems which are created by this thing called me or I, our problems of psychological nature, they come from thinking, and from thinking comes the thinker, me, I. So only when that doesn't exist, this feeling of I, then there is what we can say pure awareness, and that is the state of love in which there is no division. And many poets have said, Kabir, Kabir was one, he said, Prem gali ati sankari, jame dono samai. It means the street of love is very narrow. There is no place for two people in that. So uh, people are trying to express what they feel in words, in metaphor, some images. But no matter how much we gather all the knowledge about love, it doesn't mean much, because this state is freedom from the knowledge. Even everything which we have gathered from Krishnamurti, and we keep on repeating what Krishnamurti has said, it it is second hand. So this possibility exists for human beings only when we understand ourselves as we are in the daily life of activities. And when there is a freedom, there is no need to speak too much about. Uh, the whole thing is non-verbal, but when we make it verbal, then there will be many uh, distortion will come. So I think I have said enough thing right now. Thank you.
Dinesh ji.
Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Whenever we say in any sentence, this sentence, I or we, it automatically means it is division, there is a division or fragmentation. So we have to understand this, that for example, we say we should have care, we should have affection, we should have this, that. For everybody, love is all, cover all and this, etc., etc. Whenever we say and use we and I, it immediately means there is a division or fragmented. As far as I am concerned, I think fragmented love is not a problem. And fragmented love basically is necessary, and because of that only you can have an idea of the total love. Of course, man who is not aware, he goes for the attachment. So if he is sensitive and he is not sentimental, then he can understand that what love, fragmented love or divided love is. So this always will be there till you don't have I. And that's a very long process, I should say. Some people say that there is no process, but I say that there is a process. Process means there is a time requirement. So there are some people like Krishna Murthy who don't require time, but there are other persons who may require time for this to be free from all the old conditioning. After old conditioning also, when we say awareness, so awareness is also a part of it, because pure awareness also had got, as far as human awareness is concerned, it's a divided or it's a fragmented thing. So one has to go, one has to cover this, and we has to go beyond this awareness. Then there may be a state where when he doesn't feel his body, he doesn't feel himself, or whatever it is. So then only when he is not there, then only he can be experiencing this unconditional love. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Lakshmi ji, please unmute and say.
Namaste to everybody. Generally, people think dependency is love. And most of the people are in the idea that possessiveness is also love. And people feel that we are depending means we have a lot of love towards them. It is simply a deception. Like that, love is our original nature, but it is not to be developed. We cannot cultivate it because it is already there. Only thing is, whatever is hindering it, we have to remove. The hindrance is only mind. It's not of the mind. Love doesn't belong to the mind. And whatever we say, only I love you means it is as though it's limited to a person. It's not limited to a person or a group. It's a spontaneous spring. It's there without anything. But whatever we are doing is always we are hindering the original state by our activities of the mind. And we are filling our heart with the things of mind. I have a lot of love towards my wealth, people, my own, myself, my body, and I think this is love. And with this misunderstanding, we are always in sorrow. And there is a lot of happiness in love. Love and happiness and compassion go together. They are all there. But we are always hindering with the things of mind. We are limiting it always. Expectation is not there in the love. Love is not sex. This is another thing mostly misunderstood. Animals do sex. It's not that. Love is not sex. And there is no any type of, there is no desire. When a mind is without desire, desire-free mind can be free, can only love. It's a vast, means it's a natural thing. It's always there inside us. We need not get from anywhere. We did not do any type of exercises to develop love. It is there. It's a very spontaneous, and always it is there. Now it is there, not it is not there, like that. The hindrances, if we remove, love is there. Love is our original nature. But what we are accustomed is to the artificial things. Whatever we are original, we are not able to live in a natural way. Unnaturally, we are developing the things that I am this, In my image, I am this, and thinking that I am that. So in that way, we are hindering love. And if we go deeply, there is no center. When there is no center, it is there always. But actually, when we are accustomed for a long time to misunderstand love, which is not love, all our possessions, all our dependencies, all our other things, we feel love. It's a spontaneous thing. It cannot be limited to a person or group. It is such a vast unifying force. Thank you all.
Thank you. Dakshina Murthy ji.
I just wanted to say one or two points. I was wondering why Krishnaji, way back in 1929, said that his mission in life is to make man absolutely and unconditionally free. It appears to me he said that because only in freedom you can have love. Unless we become unconditionally free, there is no possibility of having love in our heart. And as Prasad Mulupuri was saying, this unconditional love looks a bit superfluous because love is not conditional. Love as it is, the correct meaning of love, as Krishnaji puts it, is unconditional. It is causeless. There is no cause in love, and also it has no beginning. Therefore there is no end. It is eternal. We are not able to touch base with that eternal love. So we come out with statements like unconditional love and things like that. That's one thing I wanted to say. Other thing is, you have to understand sorrow. Krishnaji says, sorrow and passion come from the same root, from the same beginning. So, unless you end sorrow, passion cannot start. Ending of sorrow means you have to understand who is the creator of sorrow. The creator of sorrow is nothing but the self, I, me, myself, the self's activities, all these things. So, only when the self ends, only when the activities of the self end, there is a possibility of ending the sorrow. And when the sorrow is ended, that is the beginning of passion. And passion for all is compassion. And compassion and intelligence go together. So, when you are able to end the sorrow in your heart, which is the cause of that sorrow is nothing but the self, and when that state is reached, you are having compassion, you are having intelligence, you have love, and also you have beauty. That is the thing that we have to understand and work on that. That is what I thought I will share with you. And also, in our normal common language also, if somebody is loving a girl, they use the word, he has fallen in love. He has fallen in love. What has fallen? In a way, you can say the self has fallen. When the self has fallen, that means when the self is not there, there is love. That is what Krishnaji is also telling. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Dinesh ji.
Actually, I also wanted to touch that point only, which Dakshina Murthy sir was talking, that suppose a girl and a boy in the teenage, they have got attraction towards each other. Then what is that? If you are having attraction or affection towards a small kid, what is that? You have got many. Suppose you are loving the power. You say that he loves the power. What is that? Because can a power be pursued without love. So what I mean to say is these are all fragmented or the divisions of love, and these are also part of love. You can't say these are not love, this is not love, this is not love. Okay, if you want to negate and you want to become a monk and then you want to go for that, then it's okay. But otherwise, in practicality or actuality, this is a part of love, and this is divided love, maybe, or fragmented love. What Harshad sir has to say on this?
Yeah. May I say something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. There is this word alone. Alone means all in one. It is not isolation. Isolation is feeling that you are cut off from the world. But this aloneness, where all in one, that is the state of this non-duality or a real love or pure awareness, and many, many words we can use. And there is one poem in Hindi or Gujarati. It says, "Prem prem sab koi kahe, पर प्रेम न जाने कोई, जो कोई जाने जगत में, फिर जुदा रहे न कोई." It means that everybody is talking about love, but nobody knows what it is, because if a person really feels love, will not feel separate from the world. So that is the state. Love is the state of being in which there is no selfishness, no self. And that is the real purpose, I would say, of spirituality or religion, is to come that state in which the division doesn't exist, like Hindu or Muslim or Christian, and getting so much affected by the beliefs and losing the sense of real affection, love, care. So a person who loves will not harm anybody. He will not harm even his own self. Because to get angry, it means that we are harming ourselves. So it is a state of pure awareness in which everything moves in a very beautiful, orderly way, and in which there are no suffering, no problem, and freshness, newness every day. And that is why Krishna ji talks about the death, which is a psychological death, the death of me, that feeling of selfishness. That is a real death, a psychological death, and that is real love, it means. So living and dying every day, that is the state of love. Okay, I finished. We can go on talking, but the word is not the thing, as Krishna ji would say. So talking about love is not love. It's actually how we live in our daily life, in activities, in relationship with human beings. That in that there is a real feeling or testing. Because if we get angry or we get attached to something, then still the self is very active, and that is not love. So Krishna ji always talked about what is not love, and very rarely he spoke about what love is. And finally, it is the state of being in which the self, the selfishness doesn't exist. Okay, I finished.
Thank you very much, Harshad sir. With due respect, I say, हमें उड़ने के तरीके न सिखाओ, हमें उड़ने के तरीके न सिखाओ, हम पेड़ से आए हैं, पिंजरे से नहीं आए. So nobody can teach love, nobody can understand this thing, that your beingness is love. Nothing is to be done. It is already there. If you understand that, then we need not to learn from someone. Love can't be learned. You have got that with yourself. If you become, then it goes. If you are in being, it is there. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Can I add one comment here?
Please do.
Yeah. There is a Sufi saint called Khalil Gibran. He came to see Krishnaji, and all these people were sitting in a room. And when Krishnaji entered that room, and when Khalil Gibran met Krishnaji for the first time, he said this. He said, the Lord of Love has entered the room. The Lord of Love has entered the room. Likewise, about Buddha also, they say he's the Lord of Love. Like Lord Buddha, like Krishna ji, like Jesus Christ, these are all rare human beings who have touched base with love, and they were in a state of love. Unfortunately, none of us are able to reach that state. But anyway, they have given us the direction. They have shown us what love is not, so that we will be able to understand and realize that love in our hearts. Thank you.
Any comment from anybody, or these comments on unconditional love, state of being, and all? They are complete in their itself.
Mr. Adin doesn't want to comment anything. He doesn't
Who?
want to say. Adin.
Adin
is there.
Adin, please say something. Adin, please unmute.
Okay.
Modak, please end it now. Modak, it is the right time to end it.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.